But really, I'm a massive fan. And when I read the bio, I'm like, all right, it's obvious your style is total California. But
Thanks.
Here's the thing, like, you have this injection of New York.
I do.
It's very chic. Where did that come about? Because I got a whole list of questions here, but I got to get to the stuff that I'm like, fascinated by.
Honestly, I'm not sure. It's really just something I've always been drawn to. I've always been drawn to kind of like a tad bit of deco, a little bit of like 1920s and 30s. So it's like, I love monochromatic color palettes. I like things that are sophisticated, chic, and timeless.
How long did it take you to go from motion pictures to make the pivotal leap into your own firm?
So I was not satisfied doing like art direction and set design. It just was something that was too temporary for me.
Sure.
You'd have to cheat the shot, and so you'd like move all the furniture, the things around, and I'd spend all this time decorating a set or putting things together, and then it would be just all torn apart, torn down in several days. And I felt like it wasn't as satisfying to me. I felt I need to, I'm big on creating spaces that memories can be made in. So whether it's commercial spaces or residential properties, I love the idea of creating a space that reflects my client's personality or reflects my client's, if it's a restaurant or an office of some kind, reflects what they do and creates a space where people are going to remember it when they're in it.
So you knew as a kid you wanted to do this?
Yeah, it was something that I always had I was always drawn to it. I knew it. It was like, I would spend time rearranging my bedroom furniture. I'd ask my parents for new bedding. They were like, why? You know what I mean?
You do more residential, commercial, half and half?
I do both. I tend to do more residential, but I do both. I just finished an amazing plastic surgeon's office, restaurants and commercial spaces. But I really do. I think I can't say I like one over the other. I do really love residential though, because there aren't as many restrictions. But both are just great, experiences in general.
What time do you start your day?
I get up around 5:30 to 6:30 every day. I cannot sleep past 6:20 or 6:30 anytime I want to, which is a blessing and a curse. I start pretty early. I don't start my official work day until 9, but I use that time in the morning, kind of prepping, meditating, or I work out or whatever it is. But I'm a bit of an early bird.
Do you prefer emailing, texting, or do you use the old style, pick up the phone and talk to somebody?
I'm an emailer. I like to have a written record of everything, and I don't like texting because it's too much access to me. I don't like that because people tend to violate boundaries, and all of a sudden you're getting texts at like 1 a.m. from clients or, just inappropriate times. And I think in this culture, we're so obsessed with instant gratification. So people want access to you at all times. And so I like email. I mean, of course, I don't mind picking up the phone and speaking to clients. I love in-person meetings when possible, now getting back into that lifestyle. But I prefer emails. There's a written record of it. My assistants in my office can see it. So it's a little bit cleaner and clearer, I think.
What's the favorite city?
I have, I have several projects in Palm Beach, and I love working on the East Coast. It's just a totally different vibe, a different feeling. And I like bringing my aesthetic there. So I have like a great team on the East Coast that I work with, and especially in Palm Beach. One of the first things that they said to me when we started working together were like, they were like, oh, it's so refreshing having a completely different style down here. And it's so kind of like a little bit of LA, a little bit of New York. And it's not something that I'd really thought of, but the more I spent time in Palm Beach, the more residences I went to, beautiful homes. They definitely have a certain aesthetic and a different design vibe. So I can see why my team on the East Coast likes to have a little, breath of fresh air every once in a while. So
how do you break your creative block? Do you get creative block?
Yeah, I think every creative gets creative blocks. And I think that's realizing that you're blocked, taking some time away to either do something else that you love, to meditate, to read, to spend time with friends, whatever that is, to kind of give your brain a bit of a break and then expose yourself to something new as well. If I'm stuck in one place for too long, or especially during COVID when you're at home a lot, even going for walks in different parts of your neighborhood that you don't spend as much time in or that you usually drive through. I would see a house or a park or something, and you're inspired by the smallest detail, like whether it's a garden or architecture in a home that you hadn't really noticed before. Yeah, whatever I can do to kind of like get myself out of my head for a little bit, I find myself being inspired by everything around me.
Do you have, and you don't need to use any names, do you have a nightmare project?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, I think everybody has. Yeah, yeah. Worked with a celebrity that was very difficult, and again, these days, like everybody wants everything for free, and they want it all yesterday for some reason. So, and then they want more, and the project expands, and so worked my butt off, and in the end, they ended up claiming credit for all of my work. That it was like, made videos about it and published it, and it was all they did it all themselves, and it was just. Yeah, it was one of those jobs where you're just like, all right, you live and learn,
that happened to me 2 years ago, and I was like, it's a good thing I have some level of tolerance. Finish the sentence for me. Great design is all about, and it can't be a surfboard.
The details. Oh, and the surfboards.
And the surfboards, but it can't be the surfboards.
It's all about executing those precise details and just really paying attention to all the small things, because all the small things are the things that add up and that people don't necessarily notice right away. And they don't know why they like a space. But when you start pointing out all those fine details, they're like, oh, I never noticed that, but that does make a big difference.
What do you look for in a contractor? What's the best thing about a contractor that you love, and what's the thing that'll drive you crazy with a contractor?
So, working with contractors, it's such a close relationship because I'm so involved in every detail of my work. And I would say what drives me crazy, I don't know, a contractor that doesn't pay attention to the fine details drives me insane. Because, I'm type A and I'm on top of them all the time, right? But especially if we work together, like you kind of build a language together. So you at some point should know kind of what I expect. And, maybe I don't need to tell you how I want these tiles to line up in the end in this corner of a room, but like you should kind of figure it out or know. So contractors that I can't build that rapport with, or that don't really pay attention to those fine details, it's a no-go for me.
That'll drive you crazy.
Yes, it'll drive me insane.
I would assume then the ones that you love are the ones that kind of read your mind at this point after a period of time you've developed the team.
Totally, yeah. And I have a few great contractors I work with on a regular basis, and they're fantastic. And I'm always open to new ones as well. If I'm brought in maybe second on a project for some reason, and there's already contractor attached, clients want to find something different. But yeah, I love my team. Yeah.
What do you think is really one of the keys to making a project great?
Communication. Really healthy and clear communication between everybody, like managing client expectations, communicating with all your trades really thoroughly, and making sure there's no miscommunication, which is always bound to happen on some level. But just having open communication channels is vital.
I'm going to go to some fun questions. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right. So here's the deal. I was a Miami guy for years. I still am, but I was in LA a couple of years ago and completely head over heels fell in love with LA. My daughter and I had oh my God, it was fantastic. So I'm going to ask you 2 LA questions I didn't even prep for. Best pizza in LA is?
Oh, you're not going to like my answer to this.
It better not be New York.
No, my answer is Domino's.
Really?
I love Domino's pizza. It's my guilty pleasure when it comes to eating. I grew up on Domino's as a kid. They, I guess they rebranded or reformulated their recipe a couple of years ago, and so I'm a sucker for Domino's. Domino's and like a bucket of ranch, man. I'm like, call it a day. I'm happy.
Books, pages, or Audible?
Both. I love both. Like I feel like there's nothing better than reading, having a physical copy of a book, turning the pages, smelling it, like being able to fold back, earmark the page that you're on. I have a ton of books next to my bedside, which I love, but also I love to listen to books when I drive. Sometimes when I'm working out, I listen to books. So audiobooks, I'm 50-50 on it.
What's your guilty pleasure that doesn't involve eating?
Oh.
Keep it clean.
Right. Guilty pleasure. I don't feel guilty about it, but I feel like it would be a guilty pleasure is I love RuPaul's Drag Race. I am a huge fan of it. I watch it all the time. It got me through quarantine. I feel like every season is just a bunch of insane, amazing artistry. So yeah, Drag Race, I love it, but I don't feel guilty about it. So I feel like, I don't know, that's a catch-22 there.
If we were doing a movie about your life, who plays you?
Oh God, that's a good one.
And you get to pick.
That's a tough one. I don't know. I would say someone 10 years younger and much better looking than I am.
I'm looking and I see it, and I don't usually see it, but it's the guy from This Is Us.
I'll take that.
Yes,
I would take it. Yeah, I don't, maybe, I find that maybe once or twice because of the hair right now, because I have long hair, but I'll take it.
If you could shop for free One store. What is it?
Tom Ford or Saint Laurent.
Both good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Better not be
both-
Domino's.
Yeah,
Better not be Domino's.
See, it's all about the high low, man. It's all about the
Yeah, you got
Tom
right.
Ford and Saint Laurent, but eating Domino's before or after I go. You know,
I'm giving you one superpower. What is it?
shape shifting.
Shape shifting?
Yeah, like to become anybody or anything at any point.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah, because I mean, think about it.
Shape-shifting.
I mean, you want to rob a bank, you become a bank teller. You want to, fly across the world, you shapeshift into I don't know, it's somebody with a first class seat. I don't know. So I just like the idea of it.
If you had a boat, what would you name it?
JTD.
That's easy.
Plain, simple, branding.
There you go. Branding. Would you rather have unlimited first class tickets or never have to pay for food in any restaurant? And I'm going to bet I know the answer before you say it.
So this is a tough one. I go back and forth because unlimited first class tickets, I'm all about, right? But not having traveled for the past year and ordering in and things like that, I'm like, I just started going back to restaurants again when they kind of started opening again. And I remember I was like, wow, I just spent like $150 on my meal tonight. Like what did I just get for that again? So after all these months of eating in and kind of like staying home, it was a rude awakening. So I think right now I'm going to say never have to pay for food at restaurants again. But as the world starts to open up and I'm able to travel again, I'm like, give me those first class tickets anywhere. maybe both.
3 words. This is my closing question. 3 words three words or less or more.
Yeah.
Because you're awesome. To
Thank you.
describe your approach to life.
Always stay curious. Always. I question everything. I'm curious about everything. I'm a seeker, so I'm always looking to learn about more. Especially if we're talking about design, all the trades that I work with, I love working really closely with my architects, engineers, contractors, subs. I always want to know why. So if I want to design something and it's not feasible for some reason, I always like to understand why, and let's work around that. Like what structurally is limiting me in this capacity? Let me learn about that, because the better versed I am in that, the less we'll run into that again. So I'm always curious. I'm always learning. So always stay curious.
Great answer.
Oh, thank you.
The world is opening.
Yes.
Can we split a Domino's when I get to LA?
Let's do it. Yes.
We could do better because when we went to LA, we went to Shutters. And
Shutters, yes. You go to one. Was it
place?
One Pico?
Yeah.
Did you go to One Pico?
Oh
Shutters,
my God!
honestly,
Listen,
Shutters is so gorgeous. I mean, there are not many other places. Like the view alone is insane. The food is fantastic. The hotel is a staple. It's gorgeous.
We were at Shutters we scheduled Shutters for 4 nights, and then because I was with my kid, I scheduled 2 nights at the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Oh yeah.
Because I figured that'd be cool. She would like that.
Yeah, right.
And we're there for 4 nights. At the end of the 4th night, I turned to her and I said, "Jilly, I got a problem." She goes, "What's the matter, Dad?" I said, "I can't leave."
Yep, I get it.
We can't. I said, "We can go to the Beverly Hills Hotel. We can have brunch, but your father cannot leave this space."
It's
and I
gorgeous.
can't explain it. It's ridiculous.
I'm telling you,
like
I'm based on the West Side too. I'm born and raised in West Los Angeles, so I'm like the closer to the ocean I can get, the better. It's home to me, so I trust me. I get it. I love my friends in Hollywood and Beverly Hills and West Hollywood and all the other areas in Los Angeles, but I'm a West Side guy, so I feel it. I feel where you're coming from. Yeah.
All right, we'll do avocado toast at One Pico.
Done, and then maybe a pizza. Why not?
Yeah, we'll do a pizza. We go to a job site.
Deal.
I was looking forward to this for weeks, and you made it even better than I thought it was going to be. So really, thank you. Thanks for making the time.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. And all that.
And I'm getting on a plane sooner than later. So
hey, you know where to find me.
I may have a client for you also. So
I love that. Yes. Hey, yeah. Let's do it. Let's work together.
Sounds good.
I like that.
Thanks. Enjoy your afternoon.
Thank you so much. You as well.
Thank you so much. Really, I appreciate it. Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye bye. Bye bye.